Good morning, my second grade. This week for science, we're going to be reviewing some of the cardinal directions that we have learned in our classroom when we were doing maps. So I thought it'd be kind of cool for us to do something a little bit different at home. And a lot of you remember making compass roses in class when we did our maps. I'm going to shrink myself and I'm going to review what a compass rose is and what those cardinal directions are. So before we do our compass rose, let's go over some of those directions. We've got north, south, east, and west. And a lot of you remember an easy way to remember this was to never eat soggy waffles, right? North, east, south, west. The order doesn't quite matter, but that's a good way for us to remember it, right? So those are our cardinal directions. A compass rose can be very simple or very complex. And this is what we find on maps all the time that show the different directions. Always at the top we have north. Always at the bottom we have south. And friends sometimes have a hard time with east and west. East is on the right side of it, and west is on the opposite side. Now, what I thought a fun project for this week would be to build a compass rose outside. So rather than doing it on paper like I did here, I think some of you can be very creative and find a way to make a compass rose outside that's facing the correct direction. Now, there's only one way for us to really do this. Well, two. But I would like us to try it the first way first and see if it works. So, in order to tell directions, we can look at the sun, because the sun gives a great giveaway of where the directions are, honestly. And it's going to require you guys waking up early, like 6 o'clock in the morning. You need to be able to get up, go, look out your windows, and see where is the sun rising. Now, if your house is anything like mine, I'm surrounded by tall trees. So it might be a little hard for you to find out really which direction the sun is rising, but if you are looking very close, use your good second grade observational skills, you'll see spots in the tree line where the sunlight is starting to gleam through. First thing in the morning, right? That is the direction that the sun is rising, and that is east. The sun always rises in the east. So you can see that I have a compass rose here. And let's pretend for a moment that the easel behind me is where the sun is rising at this very moment. So I'm going to go back to full screen so you can see all of my easel. Hey, there you are. So I've got my trusty compass rose right here. If you can see that. Back here maybe. There we go. You can see my trusty compass rose. Now we need to line this up with where the sun is. So we're saying east is that way. We need to line up the E with where the sun is. So I'll tilt my paper up like this. Maybe in a way that you can see it. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, E is right there. That is east. I'm going to lay it flat. East is that way. So in front of me, this way, should be north. That way is going to be west towards you. And south is behind me, because I have east lined up with where the sun is rising. So through the day, the sun is going to continue to rise, right? And my compass rose should be flat on the ground, because we found out in the morning east is that way. So as my sun is rising, it's going to go up and over above my head, and then down towards you, where it's going to set. So where do you think the sun sets? What direction? We said it rises in the east, so it must set in the west, right? And remember, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's super easy for you to make a compass rose on paper, I want to see if you guys can make a compass rose outside using materials that you have around your house. Now, these can be materials found in nature. You could be using rocks, sticks, anything that your parents are going to let you use. You could use stuff from inside as long as you have their permission. But remember, it's going to require you guys to wake up early. So maybe you didn't wake up early this morning, so you can't do the science, and that's okay. You can work on starting to gather those materials that you're going to use for your compass rose. So tomorrow, Tuesday, wake up early. Look out your windows and see where that sun is starting to rise. And that will pretty much be east. It might be off a little bit, but that's okay. That's the general direction of east, where the sun is rising. So you can start to build your compass rose outside knowing what direction east is. If for some reason you really can't see where that sun is starting to rise, you can always use a trusty compass if you have one, or you can get your parents to help you out as well. There are apps on your phone that you can download for a compass. But I'd really like you to try it out the first way, because it's a great way to figure it out on your own. And you can impress other people by telling them that too. So, I'm going to put this all in writing as well. There will be a Google Doc where you can upload pictures of your compass rose and maybe a couple of questions for you to answer as well. All right? Good luck, my scientists. You got this.